Active Directory, AD, Azure AD, Azure AD B2B, Azure AD B2C. These are all acronyms that can be very confusing. Today we are going to talk about Azure AD B2C, and we're going to talk about how you can use it in your environment, what use it is in your environment, and what it actually does. So I've done some videos about Azure AD, I've done some about Azure AD SSO. This one is about Azure AD B2C. If you are interested in this type of topic, if you're enjoying this content, I ask you to please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'm trying to deliver a lot of content. I'm trying to do 3 videos a week. Motivate me by smashing the like button and tune in for more. Okay, so you may have come across Azure AD B2C. It is a large platform. It has been gaining a lot of sort of momentum in the past few years. When I first started using Azure AD B2C, it was very sort of clunky. I feel like it was still being developed while I was using it. But in the past year or so, I think that it has become awesome. It is a very good platform to use for its intended purpose, which we will get into. And I think that once more organizations see that it's there and believe in its value, I think we'll see a lot of adoption of Azure AD B2C. So put simply, B2C is an authentication platform that you can use to serve your customers. So in the past, we have used many different ways to bring lots of different application sign-ins to the same authentication platform. So I do have a video about authentication and authentication versus authorization in a previous video, which I will link above. So what B2C actually does is it allows you to centralize your username and password databases for multiple applications. So let's say you're a large organization and you have 100 different applications and they're all external facing. So they're not actually line of business apps. They're not ones that you use internal. They're actually external facing. So you have 100 different websites and all those websites have their own individual username and password databases that your customers use to log in. That can get a bit tricky because that means that you have 100 different databases to look after and 100 different sets of username and passwords. So what B2C does is it allows you to centralize that also. Take all 100 of those username and password databases and put them into B2C and allow your applications to trust B2C as the authentication platform. So that's what B2C does. It provides an authentication platform. Remember that login process is 2 parts. It is authentication and authorization. I've gone into that in previous videos. If you want to hear more, have a look at this video on this side or drop a comment in the section below letting me know exactly what you want to know. So essentially, B2C allows organizations to federate with their other external facing applications by providing a platform that allows organizations to use things like OAuth as the authentication protocol or something like SAML or some of those other popular type ones or OpenID. Those are the type of protocols that Azure AD B2C has support for. Azure AD B2C provides the same type of security features and features as Azure AD. So we have things like conditional access, MFA, we have risky sign-ins, we have all the typical sort of Microsoft security algorithms that get applied in Azure AD. You can then apply those to your customers, which is a great experience, and it allows organizations to manage the security and manage the oversight of those accounts all from one place. Generally speaking, we usually in the past have seen that application teams and developers manage the username and password databases for those certain applications. That was fine, but I think that moving forward, all of this will move into the IT administrator space. And that allows the application team to focus on the application instead of the authentication piece. And it allows the IT administrators to make sure that the same type of security and standards are applied to those usernames and passwords. So a very simple example of that is, as I mentioned before, let's say you are an organization that has 100 different applications. You have 100 different username and password databases. Now you've put them all into one. You've federated 100 applications to Azure AD B2C. Now B2C is your authentication platform, and all the application does is authorization. So the user logs into Azure AD B2C and they get given a token. That token gets presented to the application side, and the application trusts that token because it's signed by Azure AD B2C, and then that user is then allowed into the application depending on what they are authorized to do. B2C really simplifies the process of signing in, signing up, resetting passwords. There's lots of built-in sort of interfaces, they call them flows, user flows, that allow you to do this very easily. So if you are looking to get up and running, you can get up and running within a few hours if you use the built-in flows. There is also custom flows for organizations that want to do some sort of trickery during the sign-in process. So things like customizing the page and maybe even doing some sort of API calls during the login process. That is allowed via the custom policies as well. Takes a bit more effort and needs a bit more developer knowledge, but it's really simple and there's lots of help out there and it's continually growing. So I've seen a lot of features being added since I first started dabbling in B2C. If you are interested in a bit more, you maybe want to see an example or something like that, let me know in the comment section below. If you did get some value out of it, then smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, and we will see you next time.